So, if this video found you, I am assuming that you have struggled with people pleasing and you're at that point where you're basically exhausted. You want to be unapologetically and authentically who you truly are. And I think that is the first step to changing your life for the better because as a people pleaser myself in the past, I went through so much of my life thinking that I was insignificant or I thought that my value only really mattered if the people around me thought so. I had to get the validation from them before I got the validation from myself. And I want to give you a little bit about my story really quickly just to show you how far back this can run. So I'm currently 26 years old. And this all started from the age of between 3 and 4 years old. So when I was 3 to 4 years old, my parents put me in this private preschool. It was like a Christian school. And I remember that I was an only child growing up until the age of like 6. So at this point, my brother hadn't been born yet. It was just me and my parents. And I had a very difficult time interacting with other kids my age because I was just used to mainly interacting with adults. I had a couple cousins around my age, but they were there since birth. I didn't really have to like introduce myself. I didn't have to build a relationship. It was just kind of like there for me. But I was very introverted growing up. And this was me up until maybe the last 3, 4 years, like that I became more outgoing. But when I first started school, I saw other kids interacting with each other, and it just seemed like a concept I just could not grasp. Like I saw the kids walking up to each other, introducing themselves and playing with each other. And I was just kind of in the background, like, I wish I could be part of that. And I wanted to like approach, but I didn't know what to say. I didn't know like just how to have that interaction with other kids my age. And this really started the tone for me being a people pleaser because I started to believe the only way that I could build a relationship is I had to offer something to make people want to interact with me. So let's say at 3 to 4 years old, like let's say my mom would pack a snack for me, and I would just basically go up to the kid I want to be friends with and just be like, hey, like do you want my snack? Do you want this? And then like literally kids would just basically talk to me and be cool with me when they wanted something from me. And it built up this pattern in my head that followed me up through a lot of my schooling, that I had to give something in order to receive friendship or fellowship or anything like that. And it led me to believe that, just me as my authentic self wasn't enough. I just thought that I always had to have something extra. I always had to do something extra from the age of 3 to 4. And that impacted me, friendships, relationships, just my whole life. I always thought that I had to give, 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 give. And when you're constantly giving and you're never getting poured back into, or you're not pouring into yourself, it becomes draining. And that's really the cycle of a people pleaser, like someone who thinks that, okay, my worth is only based on how other people view me, other people's perception of me. And as humans, that's something that we naturally do. When we come into this world, we're not really aware of how special we truly are as individuals. We are just giving a birth certificate and a social security number, and it's like, okay, there you go, you're another number in the system. You start the schooling system, you have your student number all the way up through college and adulthood, you get your employee number, but you don't really realize how special you are, how special your presence is, and how much you can impact people. So a good analogy that helped me out a lot when I was dealing with working on this, and I still work on it to this day. I feel like you never stop working on yourself as a person. But I had to think about a movie. So my favorite movie, or one of my favorite movies, is The Wolf of Wall Street. I love that movie. Leonardo DiCaprio. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you go check it out. But I'm bringing this up to basically get you to understand, like, whatever your favorite movie is, think of it right now. There's only a certain number of main characters. Like, most times there's one main character, but like there's supporting characters around that main character, right? And it's very few most of the time. I would say it's no more than that get a lot of screen time, no more than like 4 to 5 like characters in a movie get a lot of screen time. Like it's just not enough time to give 10, 20 characters screen time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is everybody isn't meant to be a part of your story. this life experience that we're dealing with, this is our own movie. We are the creators, we are the writers. We are basically navigating the story. The decisions we make, the people who are in our lives, the things we do in our everyday lives, all of that just comes together to make our movie. And when you are a people pleaser, you are essentially making a movie where you are trying to basically give the supporting cast all the screen time and make the main character like a background character because you are the main character. So you're putting yourself, who you truly are, your lines, your script, because you are the plot. The whole plot is based around you. You're putting the actual plot of the movie on the back burner in order to make the supporting cast feel good. And that's just never a good thing. You can only have so many people in your movie and so much screen time, because what you tend to do is you tend to get into the energy of other people, right? So I'll give you a prime example. Something I would always do is I would always hit my friends up. Hey, you want to hang out? Hey, you want to do this? And like, let's say it was something I wanted to do. Like, let's say I wanted to go bowling, but my friend wanted to go play pickleball. Just a random example. I would put what I wanted to do on the back burner because it's like, okay, well, if I don't do what they want me to do, they're probably not going to hang out with me. They're probably not going to like me, or, whatever the case may be. They might think this way of me, but that is really just you hurting your own self, because you are meant to experience life in the way that you desire to. That's fair to you. And the people around you, they should accept you for who you are. And if you're just being a genuine like menace to the people around you, then you have some work to do. But a true friend, or somebody who's truly meant to be in your life, they can give and take. They can take the good parts of you, and they can take the bad parts of you. Vice versa. You should be able to take the good parts of them and the bad parts of them. But at the end of the day, the two people, or however many people are in this situation, you all should have true, genuine love for each other. It shouldn't be a one-sided, I have to earn this, I have to prove this, because you never get to authentically be who you are, which is going to hold you back from your dreams, your goals, and your true happiness. Because if you have to try to put on this facade like I used to, or you had to try to like basically please people, what's going to end up happening basically is you're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to realize once you stop doing what it is that's keeping the people around you, they're going to go away because they haven't truly experienced you, and you haven't given yourself, a fair shot to see who really likes you and who really doesn't. Because when you are being who you truly are and you have friends, those people are really your friends. But whenever you have people who are friends with this person who's always giving them things, or who always saying yes and doing things they want, they really don't even respect you, and they don't even really like you. They just like what you do for them. They like the way you make them feel. And the moment that you stop making them feel that, it's over. Versus where when you have a true friend, y'all might go through a conflict or something might happen between you guys, but at the end of the day, or relationship or whatever, at the end of the day, they have your back and you have their back, because you guys truly know each other. You guys really know who each other is. So it all starts with you valuing yourself as a person, because we think that we don't have value, but we really do. You could have a conversation with someone and impact them for the rest of their lives and not even know it. There have been several people I've had short conversations with. I don't even know how to contact these people if I wanted to, but I will never forget them, because they basically are part of the reason I became who I am. Whether it was a conversation, an act of kindness, even if it was negative, because I got bullied growing up. Even like the people who bullied me, like I will always remember them, and they helped me become the person that I am now, because I learned to love myself through those negative times. The things that I was insecure about, the things that I got bullied about, they have now become some of my strongest things. They have become part of who I am, and part of me that I love. You know what I'm saying? Versus where I used to hate that, because I thought that was stopping me from being happy. That was stopping me from relationship and opportunity. So always remember that you are enough. You are good enough. You provide value, even though you might not even know it. Trust me, if something were to happen to you, there would be somebody who would be sad. Trust me, 1,000%. So you got to love yourself and be who you truly are. Peace.